So we thought, with Achyutananda Prabhu's permission, since you are the senior most in this room. Which year, Prabhu, did you come?
66.
No, you.
Oh.
Caitanya Prabhu.
66, yeah. He wasn't even born.
So, we would like to start Chaitanya Caritamrta just for this week because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day. And you all already taken seriously, but I want to also take it seriously. But there is a very esoteric, some understanding has to be understood and repeated and repeated and repeated. That doesn't become, we don't become hypnotized by repetition. The modern psychiatrist world, they think you repeat something to get hypnotized, to divert your attention from whatever things is disturbing you. But chanting Hare Krishna or thinking of Mahaprabhu, that doesn't come under this category. Rather, it sprouts itself from the spiritual strata which is all along within us. So this is very sweet. So, who got the Caitanya Caritamrta? Okay, let's start from the first and then we will go to chapter 4. Just the invocation. There's a Mangala Charan. So, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami,
First chapter.
who is compiler of Sri Caitanya Caritamrta, nobody discuss Srila Nityananda Prabhu's life and teachings. If we see in practical reality, only people discuss Nityananda Prabhu's relationship with Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu's Leela in that relation only when Sri Nityananda Prabhu himself blessed. No, for you. For you share with others. Oh, okay. So how do we know the Leela of Nityananda Prabhu, who manifesting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Only to those devotees he revealed himself. They are the one who wrote about this Leela. We should remember this. It is not just randomly written. Nityananda Prabhu revealed himself to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Nityananda Prabhu himself revealed to Vrindavan Das Thakur. That's how Chaitanya Caritamrita and Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Bhagavat came. There is no other source. In the invocation of Chaitanya Caritamrita, there is three things should be considered in Mangalacharan. One is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving us a very thoughtful, sincere, loving prayers that how we should pray and what kind of blessing we need and what is the proper attitude to submit ourselves. Then he is also indirectly praying for us to Krishna what Lord Sri Krishna, Sri Gaur Sundar should give us. Also he is asking us to take Guru's guidance and approach in that way. These three ways the blessings is coming through Chaitanya Caritamrita. So we are just going to recite the first few verses and then we'll go to chapter 4. And from now till next week.
So 2 classes?
No.
Or
Today,
like every class
tomorrow, next day, next day until Gaur
Monday
Purnima.
night also,
Okay,
but
cool.
Tuesday no program on Tuesday? You're doing
No program.
You're doing a program on Gaur Purnima?
Not here.
Yeah.
No.
You're coming to the...
He's speaking at the
Govinda?
temple at 4:30 at the ISKCON temple.
And then
You're not answering.
huh?
You didn't answer. I was just confirming if you're coming to Radha Govinda.
Yes, of course I am coming. Morning I don't know. I have my fixed round to be chanted every day. So I spend morning
So
chanting.
maybe the afternoon.
Yeah, something like that.
But sometime.
I'm going to talk to Indupati Prabhu about it. Okay, so whoever has the book, please join together. Bande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isham Isha Avatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangakam. One book should be given to Achyutananda Prabhu. He can read the translation.
It's in your phone. The book is.
Because I'm going to be reading it.
Use a fake database.
No, English translation.
Should I listen to?
The first verse out of you.
Who is going to read English? Good.
Anyone here speak English?
Barely.
Okay, go ahead.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual
Oh.
masters, the devotees of the Lord's incarnations, His plenary portions, His energies, and the primeval Lord Himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Bande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gauradaye Pushpa Banto Chitra Sando Tamonado. Bhadra Prabhu, come in the front. Here.
Just see here, bro.
Indupati Prabhu. Indupati Prabhu. Go ahead.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and the moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all.
Have you ever seen sun and moon rises with the effect same time? Anybody ever experienced? You did?
Well, not rises. No, if the word is, if you're underlining rises, never.
It's affecting. Moon cools down and sun heats up.
Right.
Sun shows, moon cools down and heats up. Both are in the same time.
Yeah, that appears in the sky. Often, where we see the moon has risen and the sun is still.
But you're not getting the both effect same time.
If the sun is still up, then there's still some radiation of light and heat, and the moon is rising. So I'm not sure what you're looking for in terms of the analogy, but
There is no such thing.
but
There is no such thing
They are
called
both in
effect.
they are both
Effect.
in the sky. But the
No.
effect is
The effect of the both are not simultaneously ever experienced by anybody, including scientists. Only Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu's presence makes this happen. This is a rare. What is that two personalities are giving, that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explaining, the Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu Sahodito, they dissipate because when sun rises, it make the lotus flower blossom. You follow? When moon rises, then the lotus flower finish. But when moon rises, Komodik flower, I don't know English, but Komodik, you heard that name, very fragrant. It's blossom. Sun rises, it's burn. So how do you see sun and moon same time? It's not possible. By the flower we can see the experience. But in this case, it says, yes, both has risen. Mahaprabhu will destroy, Nityananda Prabhu together will destroy the ignorance and gives you the Shreya Kairava Chandrika Pitaranam. Reveal your internal spiritual form, spiritual Ishtadev, spiritual service, same time. They will destroy the ignorance and illuminate, both same time. Very extraordinary phenomenon. Very extraordinary phenomenon. Sun literally burned the Komodik flower. As soon sun rises, Komodik flowers start withering.
Wilting.
And by the time like 8, 9 o'clock, they're dead. Finish. When sun rises, the opposite happened. The lotus started blossoming. Sun is more up, it's more blossom. opposite in the flower. But both flower in Nityananda or Mahaprabhu same time, both are blooming. This is rare, very rare, never happened before. This is the whole point, that never happened before. Okay. Next. Jat.
Pumadic, that name, is that any, like there's Pumadiki, is there any relationship between that term Pumadiki and that name of that flower?
Kaumudiki flower, I can find out what's the English name, I'm not sure. But in Bengal we saw Kaumudiki flower. It blossoms by moon. Sun burns it, opposite to the lotus flower. 3. Together. Jat advaita brahmopanishadi tadupasya tanubha ja atmantarjami purusha sahasangsa vivava Sara Isharja Purna Bhagavan Ja Sayamayam Na Chaitannat Krishna Jagati Paratatta Paramiham.
What the Upanishads describe as the impersonal Brahman is but the effulgence of his body, and the Lord known as the Supersoul is but his localized plenary portion. Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, full with 6 opulences. He is the absolute truth, and no other truth is greater than or equal to him.
What is the speciality of Mahaprabhu? Explain here that what is Brahman means all pervasive. Brahman means all pervasive concept, unlimited, infinite concept. Infinite concept has no limit. Same time, simultaneously existing with localized form. Localized form means that individuality is maintained and individual witnessing, supervising and fruit givers and your destiny holder, everything individually done, not collectively. Not collectively, individually done. So that's why it's called localized. Paramatma is called localized because each soul has a particular relationship with particular super soul and going. But it is non-dual. It is one super soul, but it is perceived individually existing in every heart with the soul. At the same time, Supreme Bhagavan, who is possessing both, is there in one body. But there is something more here. He says, Jadadaitam Brahma Upanishadi Tadupasya Tanuva Jaatmantarjami Purusha Sahasangsa Vibhava. Sara Aishwarya Purna. What is Sara Aishwarya Purna? Krishna cannot claim Sara Aishwarya Purna without Srimati Radhika. Krishna cannot. Why? Because the beauty, ultimate beauty, is in the eye of Ashray, not in the eye of Vishay. So therefore Krishna cannot claim Sara Aishwarya Purna without Srimati Radhika. Can he? No. But Mahaprabhu can. So the last limit of bhakti, which is Ashray Tattva, when you add with this 3 non-dualism together, then it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gaur Purnima means appearance day of who? Come on, together, loudly. Gaurachandra. And who else took birth? He was born before. He was not born on a full moon. But on the Gaur Purnima, somebody else took birth too. Very important, same time. Actually, is more important to our life right now. Who? No, he was 65 years old when Mahaprabhu was born. Huh? No. When Mahaprabhu took birth, who else took birth? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Eclipse took place and everybody, whole world was chanting. Those who are awake. I know you're thinking like, not everyone. Columbus did not chant because he was dreaming. He was dreaming, so he could not.
Person, though.
Huh?
He's still a person.
He's a sleeping, dreaming person. Imagine,
not everybody.
imagine you are starving and Arjuna brings plate of prasadam, but you are sleeping. How good is it?
Delicious.
Not good at all.
But not for
It's not a good at all.
delicious for everybody else.
Ah, thank you. Tell her that.
Delicious.
That if you are sleeping, you are sleeping. Finish. This prasadam has no access to you. You're still starving and sleeping. So Columbus was dreaming. It's worse. Because in the dreamland you just go fantasize and you forget completely who you are. Those who are sleeping, dreaming or deep sleep, they did not get when Mahaprabhu appeared. Those who are awake, they saw that birth because they took the opportunity of chanting, whatever the cause is. So Gaur Purnima means, what is Gaur Purnima means, Prabhu?
Birth of Gaurchandra and
Birth of Gaurchandra and
Harinam.
Hariname. Also Gaur Purnima means everybody together. The last limit of bhakti is manifested by Mahaprabhu. If Gaur Purnima Mahaprabhu did not take birth, how do you know what is the last limit of bhakti? Nobody knew who is Radharani actually. It is there in Bhagavatam, in Purana, Mundaka Upanishad, Vishnu Puran, everything is there, yes? Is there. But nobody knew the secret. Yes.
So when you say the last limit of bhakti, that's the secret of Radharani's mood?
Yes.
And what
We'll
were
discuss.
the other limits?
What's the other limit? There's
What's
tons
the
of
last
limits.
one?
The last limit doesn't mean it's limited. It means there is nothing equal or
The highest expression.
highest expression of emotion.
Sweetest realization.
So before they were doing stuff, it just wasn't as good.
They were doing Santa mostly. Daisho is there. Soikho little bit. Vatsulya tiny. And conjugal is barely there. Even speculation is there. Madhacharya even. I just heard a lecture yesterday. Srila Prabhupada says, I never heard. He says, even Ramanujacharya, Madhacharya, they did not give what Mahaprabhu has come to give. They only gave little bit of, I never hear Prabhupada speak directly like this. They give little bit of Daisha, Soikha, like that, little bit. But what Mahaprabhu has come to give, and if you have the translation word to word, number 4,
Yeah.
Unnata Ujjala Rasha, look what Prabhupada translated.
Unata, elevated, Ujjala Rasam, the conjugal mellow.
You think we speak about it? Prabhupada translated. I was hearing this lecture, one conversation he had, and he says actually Mahaprabhu gave this conjugal mood that no Acharya ever gave or talked about it. I never hear directly like Prabhupada speak very heavily conjugal mood. So Mahaprabhu's speciality is conjugal mood, paramaur.
What about in Vrindavan, the Vallabhacharya? Wasn't there a line?
It's Mahaprabhu's time.
Or even before that, wasn't there other devotees like Ishwar Puri? He was also kind of in the movie, and he was existing technically before Mahaprabhu, and he had that.
Nobody preached, nobody distributed.
But there were
They were there. They were there. Yes, Madhavendra Puri is the root.
Mm-hmm.
They are part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Without parents, you cannot have a child. So before Mahaprabhu come, they have to be. Yes. Ultimately, it comes from Nityananda Prabhu, who gave to Lakshmipati. Yes, Prabhu.
I don't want to distract you, but I had just similar to this question. From the period, I'm just curious with. There's that verse where Chaitanya has come with his form and his entourage, etc. That verse. Jamanjai is the last Rajashi king. So we have about 3,500 years. And there's a couple of prominent. So more or less, things are lost in that 30 between the last Rajarshi king, Raj Pirkit's son Jamanjaya, he's and Mahaprabhu's coming. Just
You mean
simplistically, what
Okay.
there's no chanting because Kali Yuga is coming in and he's bringing.
No, it was there.
Bringing the holy name with
It
him.
was there in Mundaka Upanishad, Kali Shantaran Upanishad, but holy name was sleeping.
Oh, See, this is kind of...
Simple answer you said, Swajay. They were sleeping. Holy name was sleeping. Mahaprabhu came, woke him up. Now everybody is dancing, chanting.
Ignited.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned like Ishwarpur, it was still certain,
Yeah.
the line still was going on,
Yes.
but there was no
Kulashekar.
prominence of Krishna consciousness, right?
Right.
Jamunacharya.
Thank you.
Okay, did we translate? Yeah. Number 4. You must know this verse. This is one verse. You should. Well, no, I don't want to say it. How do you say? You must know this by tomorrow. by this Tuesday. No, you must. This number, all these verses, but at least number 4, you must. Otherwise, you cannot reconcile Mahaprabhu's ultimate. We will be deceived. We will be deceived if we do not understand this inner conception of Mahaprabhu's appearance. There is one verse has 13 times says Daya, mercy, and 8 prominent mercy form. Hela udonita khedaya, Hela udonita khedaya, Vishadaya, Pranomilat Amodaya. You count how many times Daya. Sammata Shastra Vivadaya, Rasadaya, Chitta Arpita Unmadaya, Shaswata Bhakti Vinodaya, Marjadaya, Madhurja Rasadaya. Tava Sri Caitanya Daya Nide Tava Daya Amanda Udaya. It has a Srila Swarup Damodar, it is in Madhulila, Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Swarup Damodar composed at the end, when Mahaprabhu left, he could not tolerate. He saw Ratha Jatra and Mahaprabhu is not there, he instantly left this world. So much in separation. But before he left, he composed this. And Prabhupada writes, this is the most important form of Mahaprabhu's exhibition of Daya. What is mercy of Mahaprabhu? One day we'll discuss this, maybe this week, someday. Not today, but we want to do this. Very nice. 12 places says Daya, 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 8 times, and it's very sophisticated way what exactly Mahaprabhu gave. Daya, Daya. Hela udonita khedaya. Daya, so many, very sweet verses. Okay, together. Number 4. Anarapita charim chirat korunayavatina kalo samarpayitamunnata ujjala rasam sabhakti shriyam hari purata sundaraduti kadamba sandipita sadaridaya kandare spuratu vasachinandana. Indupati.
May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shakti Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. He has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mallow of devotional service, the mallow of conjugal love.
Now this verse has a many meaning. If you don't look at the translation, if you look at the word-to-word meaning, then you will have a different conclusion. Because translation, Prabhupada gave it like a package, very nice package. You don't have to prepare anything, just take it and eat it, like this. It's very nice. But if you look at the word-to-word, you will find that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back once upon a time, in Jagannath Puri, not too long, 500 years, really not too long. The way Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur writes, you take a train from Howrah station to this station, take a bus, then take a rickshaw. It is not like a Krishna who took birth 5,000 years back, Mahaprabhu came. Is there a Radha Kund Samkunda? No. They have no idea. Nobody even knows. It is not like this. Mahaprabhu, this is like a recent. You can literally follow Chaitanya Caritamrta and go, and you can be, this is the place. I never thought, why so many details, like which station to which station, how you go by bus or rickshaw and how far, It's like between this village and this village, this is this village, on the bank of Ganges. It's like a very clear, no speculation required, because there will be imitation coming. So many speculation will come. So they gave us protection, that be steady in the Chaitanya Caritamrta. And this is real, what we are experiencing, or will be experiencing in life. This is all real, this happened, Mahaprabhu's, and this is exact way we should see it. So Mahaprabhu, when he came back from the taking noon bathing in the ocean, he comes back and he found the same thing. The Haridas Thakur was in a corner and all the devotee already there, and they are talking about the glory of holy name. It was very sweet talk. That time, this letter handed over from the Mahaprabhu's Haridas Thakur's place when Mahaprabhu came. And when Mahaprabhu opened it, he read first line, Anarpita charim chirat koronaya avatirna kalau. Very sweet. Mahaprabhu loved it. He said, this is very nice. It is so nice. Samarpayitam unnata ujjala rasam sabhakti sriyam. He said, this is astounding. He was so thrilled. Mahaprabhu literally shivered. He says, Hari Purata Sundara Duti Kadamba Sandipita. Mahaprabhu immediately looked at Rupa Goswami Pad as if he wants to hug him and very affectionate. Then the last line he writes, Sadar Hidayakant. He didn't like it. This is why you have to put something bad in a good. But Swarup Damodar was there. Swarup Damodar says, he is right. The number 4 line is the most important in the whole line. You like the 3, Prabhu. Why you don't like the number 4? Because number 4 is Mahaprabhu's position is revealed. He has, hey, if Lalita Sakhi Didi had an affection for Nishinga to become a millionaire, if the money is with her, she will give it to him, right? If everybody else has the money and she doesn't have the money, does he get it?
No.
Try to understand this logic. If she wants him to be the millionaire, Arjuna got $1 million, does it mean Nishinga will get it? No. But if Lalita Sakhi get it, he will give it to him because she wants him. Who wants us to get Radha Daishyam? Who wants us?
Mahaprabhu.
Mahaprabhu wants. So their logic is very scientific. They said, you are the one has to come in the heart who can give us this. So last line is the most important. But first 3 are the actually last line is the base and first 3 is actually sprouting Krishna Prem. So everything is wonderful. But if Mahaprabhu is missing here, what's the missing? Whole thing is missing. Not possible. No incarnation ever gave. No incarnation ever even talked about it. Did you ever hear, anybody heard any pastime that Narayan was doing austerity to worship Lakshmi? Or serve Lakshmi? Or really crying to figure it out how Lakshmi is serving me? Any pastimes? There is no such thing. Even Ram, Sita Ram, Bamandev, any pastimes, any avatar, you cannot trace it. I was thinking for hours and hours, is there any pastime anywhere ever
Balaji?
existed?
Balaji.
Even Balaji. What did Balaji do?
Didn't he have to go through so much struggle to marry Padmavati?
No.
He even had to collect money to borrow money.
Yeah, this is the Leela, but he was not crying. He was not saying that I will give up my life if I cannot achieve her. Mahaprabhu exhibited this. Krishna exhibited this. Krishna is so crazy. He has... Why? Because very soon we will find in chapter 4, maybe I should not jump. He says, Bishaye jatiya sukha ama arasad, ama hoite koti gun asre allad. Koti means 10 million. When Lord Krishna, he himself saw his 4 Madhuri, he was very thrilled. He literally was captured by it. his beauty, his lila, this whole description is given. How sweet, even he is charmed. But he has proven one thing for sure. You know, Lord Krishna has proven one thing. Even as a dog eater or cow eater, the flavor that they get, where they get this from? It is Krishna. But do you know how to prove it? That is good what you said. You have to also learn how to prove it. Otherwise you are not convinced. So you cannot preach about to others. Anything, even the fragrance. It is Krishna's own body that produces the rose smell. Any good smell, any perfume even they do chemical, whatever they use, deodorant, all kinds of things. That where this coming from? It's all originating from Krishna's body. Krishna himself, his body, is producing unlimited fragrance all the time. What pervades from Vaikuntha to Viraja to all the way to material world, even to the pig is eating the stool. The smell for a pig body to enjoy, the perception, the enjoyment is only a perception. He has no clue. I mean, Arjuna tried to get up. Does he figuring out how to get up? No. He just gets up. You never can even figure it out how this is. So I desired. You desire. A sick man also trying to desire to get up, he doesn't get up. You cannot figure it out. All this mystery, even within our this. Everything originated. And Krishna has proved literally, he is the center of all activities, all attraction, all taste, all beauty, all touch, all smell. Literary, you can literally prove. Through the scientific process of Bhagavatam, it is break down. Kapil Dev explained how everything is Krishna. But what bewilders him, that when he sees himself, he is bewildered. How attractive he is. How fragrance coming from him. How the air touches and it's coming from him and he's getting the reflect back. It's so nice. But the two-way what causes him bewildered, never experienced by any incarnation. One is when he sees Srimati Radhika, her beauty and the air that touches her body to him, he is overwhelmed. I am the center of all attraction, yet I am attracted by that fragrance. I am attracted by that beauty. What is this? This is one. Another one is what Krishna could not experience, that Mahaprabhu had to come. This is chapter 4. We will start today. I'm not going to throw it because I don't want to stop it. We want to go progress. So let's study it a little more, few more sloka. Very sweet. Number 5, together. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Rasmat Ekatmana Pupi Puradeha Vedam Gato Uto Chaitanaikam Prakatamodana Tadayam Chaikamaptam Radha Bhavaduti Shubalitam Nomi Krishna Sarupam. Yes, Prabhu.
The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself.
This is very sweet. So, who was first, Mahaprabhu or Krishna?
The chicken or the egg?
Who was first, chicken or the egg? No, tell me. According to Veda is what?
Chicken.
Very good. But before we say that, we should always remember that the Bhagavan, he is beyond the chicken and the egg. Because there was everything, whether it's a chicken or egg, it's under the time. But Bhagavan is above the time.
Beyond Kala Shakti.
Yes. So we should reconcile from that angle. Then it's very scientifically convinced. So then chicken comes first. That is true. Then comes the egg. But this is Vedic version. Not everybody will accept it. But then you can say that your understanding is still under the time. Because the creation does not become from the time. Creation begins by the desire of the Lord who is beyond time. So it can never be reconciled unless they accept the origin, source of creation, origin, cause. So like this. So generally we understand in Chaitanya Caritamrta that there is a 5 eternal form. What are those? Sri Krishna, Srimati Radharani, on the right side Balaram, left side Srimati Radharani and Gaurnitai. These are the original form. Narayan, all Shankarshan, Vasudev, Pradyumna, unlimited incarnation, they are all manifested later. They are also eternal, but they are not their origin. In other words, same principle, like $100 has a $90. When you have $100, you have a $78. Yes? That is Brahmaji. You have a $87? Yes, that is Shiva. You have a $96? Who is that? Narayan. You have $98 within $100? That is Balaram. You have a 97.5?
Turkish?
No, Ram. Then you have a 98 Balaram. Then you have 100 Krishna. So like this we reconcile. Within 100, within Krishna all the incarnation is there, but still all the incarnation has no origin manifestation. Only one, Krishna. Krishna is the origin manifestation. And that Krishna, left side is Srimati Radhika, right side is Balaram. That's how they manifested. So like this we'll discuss what is Atma Ramata, Pararamata, but time consumption we want to go to chapter 4 because chapter 4 is very sweet. Number 6, and then we'll go back. Number 6 together. Also most important, by next Saturday you must have on your throat these 3 verses. Together. Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrisho Vanaeva Sadho Jenadbhuta Madarima Kidrisho Vamadiyam Sokham Chassa Madanubhavat Kidrisho Veti Lova Tadabhavadda Samajani Sachigarva Sindhu Harindu. Prabhu.
Desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Shochi Devi as the moon appeared from the ocean.
And the next is Nityananda Prabhu, then Advaita Prabhu, so we'll escape all this. You can read. You have a whole night to read. We will not be disturbing you. You can read when we leave. But let's go to chapter 4. Sita, maybe you want to share all 3 and then give to Bhadra Prabhu or Murti Prabhu, you can share with Bhadra Prabhu or something.
There's a small one.
Share a little
Do
bit.
you want to start at Premaras Nirnas Kuriti Ashwari?
No, that's 15.
Yeah.
We'll start from 1.
Okay.
Okay. Can you you can read loud? You are loud.
I don't have. I'll read if you.
Can you read the loud the what do you call introduction? No, I mean what do you call summary? No, what do you call?
Chapter 4. The confidential reasons for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Louder. Good.
In this chapter of the epic Caitanya Caritamrta, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has stressed that Lord Chaitanya appeared for 3 principal purposes of his own. The first purpose was to relish the position of Srimati Radharani, who is the prime reciprocator of transcendental love of Sri Krishna. Lord Krishna is the reservoir of transcendental loving transactions with Srimati Radharani. The subject of those loving transactions is the Lord himself, and Radharani is the object. Thus, the subject, the Lord, wanted to relish the loving mellow in the position of the object, Radharani. The second reason for his appearance was to understand the transcendental mellow of himself. Lord Krishna is all sweetness. Radharani's attraction for Krishna is sublime, and to experience that attraction and understand the transcendental sweetness of himself, he accepted the mentality of Radharani. The third reason that Lord Chaitanya appeared was to enjoy the bliss tasted by Radharani. The Lord thought that undoubtedly Radharani enjoyed his company, and he enjoyed the company of Radharani. But the exchange of transcendental mellow between the spiritual couple was more pleasing to Srimati Radharani than to Sri Krishna. Radharani felt more transcendental pleasure in the company of Krishna than he could understand without taking her position. But for Sri Krishna to enjoy the position of Srimati Radharani was impossible because that position was completely foreign to him. Krishna is the transcendental male, and Radharani is the transcendental female. Therefore, to know the transcendental pleasure of loving Krishna, Lord Krishna himself appeared as Lord Chaitanya, accepting the emotions and bodily luster of Srimati Radharani. Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to fulfill these confidential desires, and also to preach the special significance of chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Hare.
and to answer the call of Advaita Prabhu. These were secondary reasons. Shri Swarup Damodar Goswami was the principal figure among Lord Chaitanya's confidential devotees. The records of his diary have revealed these confidential purposes of the Lord. These revelations have been confirmed by the statements of Srila Rupa Goswami in his various prayers and poems. This chapter also specifically describes the difference between lust and love. The transactions of Krishna and Radha are completely different from material lust. Therefore, the author has very clearly distinguished between them.
I really beg all of you, you already are advanced, you already heard this for last 40 years you probably heard, 50 years Ochanda probably heard, everybody heard. So many years Gaur Purnima, right? It's not something new for most. But for me it's like a new every year because I did not get it. So I want to discuss this very thorough breakdown so we understand this three subject matter very clear and it stays with us whole life. It's easy what he just read, but if I ask somebody to repeat it, let's hear it. Maybe it's difficult mixing up which one is why. So we have to discuss little bit of cause. What is causing effect? So in order to do that, we're going to read few sloka at a time and then we'll come.
Excuse me?
You, Jitamita Prabhu. Okay. Let's read together. You have to. Somebody show him the bathroom.
It's back there in the hallway to your right.
I already know it all.
First and right.
Okay. Let's read the first one. Text 1. Sri Chaitanya Prasadena Tadrupasya Vinirnayam Balopi Kurute Shasram Drishta Varja Vilasinaya. You have to keep on going, yeah.
By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even a foolish child can fully describe the real nature of Lord Krishna, the enjoyer of the pastimes of Braj, according to the vision of the revealed scriptures.
Okay, so don't try to understand this. If you cannot understand, then don't try to understand. Ask for mercy, mercy, mercy. Really, really. Can you cry? Just cry. Cry and say, I want to understand, please Prabhupada, please Gurudev, please make me understand. They will. They will. This is true. Without mercy, not possible to understand Lord Chaitanya. Prabhupada says, you hear so many times, that Bhagavad Gita is like a high school. And Chaitanya Caritamrta is what? Postgraduate. What is postgraduate?
Hard.
Not to a person who is on the third grade. For a third grader to get the postgraduate degree, it's almost like a long years. So Chaitanya Caritamrta, and to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not possible. We should not take it lightly. Just chant Hare Krishna, we'll do it. No. It is postgraduate, Prabhupada says. That means we have to graduate from the Bhagavad Gita to Bhagavatam to Chaitanya Caritamrta. Then possible. But here, the clue is that the mercy of Mahaprabhu that coming through the Guru Parampara, possible. Even third grader can understand postgraduate degree by the mercy. Yes, Prabhu.
I remember one class, Govinda Maharaj was saying, we're not even primary school, we're actually pre-primary school. So how is it possible to properly understand?
Yeah. By the mercy.
Yeah.
Mercy possible. Mercy they can. Pangul langayati girim. The lame man can cross the mountain. Jat kripa tamaham bande. He says just by the kripa possible. By the kripa possible. That is true. You cannot jump or understand this. But mukham karati bhachalam. The dumb fool can speak eloquent by the mercy. So mercy is possible. We should not, if we think we are not eligible, that will be like a false humility. This is not genuine humility. Genuine humility means they want us, they say here, by the mercy we can understand. So we should seek for mercy. Mm-hmm. If we say, well, I won't understand, so what's the use? That is not humility. Mm-hmm. That will be false. We must seek for mercy and serve, it will come. Mercy is, yes. Yes, Prabhu.
I humbly may just add the point, that Srila Prabhupada did it, that the mercy is coming down from Srila Prabhupada, mercy coming down from Sampradaya, but it's also coming through you. Because by just your presence of bringing, you're actually calling upon this mercy. And so the verse where a blind man can see, a lame man can walk is coming. So right now for his understanding, right now we're receiving that very mercy that you're talking about by you speaking.
Thank you for blessing me. Hopefully I'll get it. Hopefully I'll get by your mercy.
No, but it's a very important point because Srila Prabhupada said this. I'm not just saying that because if we don't possess this appreciation, then we can't get sadhu sangha if we're not appreciating this moment and what you're saying. And this verse is so important that a blind man can see it because he's made reference to Pran Govinda, but actually he can wake up this very moment by hearing from you. And
thank you.
That reality we must really deeply appreciate.
Thank you. Purport, Prabhu? It's open.
One can ascertain the meaning of this Sanskrit shloka only when one is endowed with the causeless mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Sri Krishna,
come in the front,
the absolute personality of Godhead, cannot be exposed to the mundane instruments of vision. He reserves the right not to be exposed by the intellectual feats of non-devotees. Notwithstanding this truth, even a small child can easily understand Lord Sri Krishna and his transcendental pastimes in the land of Vrindavan by the grace of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
Very good. Okay, text 2 together. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
But next Tuesday you should know this.
Now you have to go first, Prabhu.
Okay. All glory to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, all glory to Lord Nityananda, all glory to Sri Advaita Acharya, and all glory to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya.
Chaturtha sloker artha kaila vivaran panchama sloker artha suna bhaktagan.
I have described the meaning of the 4th verse. Now, O devotees, kindly hear the explanation of the 5th verse.
Yes. Mola suker artha karite prakasha artha lagite age kohiye avasa.
Just to explain the original verse, I shall first suggest its meaning.
চতুর্থ শ্লোকের অর্থ এই কৈলাসার প্রেম নাম প্রচারিতে এই অবতার
I have given the essential meaning of the fourth verse. This incarnation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God.
সত্য এই হেতু কিন্তু এক বহিরঙ্গ আর এক হেতু শুনা আছে অন্তরঙ্গ
Although this is true, this is but the external reason for the Lord's incarnation. Please hear one other reason, the confidential reason for the Lord's appearance.
Yes. Oh.
Purport. In the 3rd chapter, 4th verse, it has been clearly said that Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to distribute love of Krishna and the chanting of his transcendental holy name, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
That was the secondary purpose of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. The real reason is different, as we shall see in this chapter.
পূর্বে যেন পৃথিবীর ভার হরিবারে কৃষ্ণ অবতী নহইলা শাস্ত্রেতে প্রচারে
The scriptures proclaim that Lord Krishna previously descended to take away the burden of the earth.
স্বয়ং ভগবানের কর্ম নহে ভার হরণ স্মৃতি কর্তা বিষ্ণু হরেন জগত পালন
To take away this burden, however, is not the work of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The maintainer, Lord Vishnu, is the one who protects the universe.
কিন্তু কৃষ্ণের যেই হয় অবতার কাল ভার হরণ কাল তাতে হইল মিশাল
But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time for Lord Krishna's incarnation. Purport. We have information from the Bhagavad Gita that the Lord appears at particular intervals to adjust a time-worn spiritual culture. Lord Sri Krishna appeared at the end of Dwapara Yuga to regenerate the spiritual culture of human society and also to manifest his transcendental pastimes. Vishnu is the authorized Lord who maintains the created cosmos, and he is also the principal deity who makes adjustments when there is improper administration in the cosmic creation. But Sri Krishna, being the primeval Lord, appears not in order to make such administrative adjustments, but only to exhibit his transcendental pastimes and thus attract the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead. However, the time for administrative rectification and the time for Lord Sri Krishna's appearance coincided at the end of the last Dwapara Yuga. Therefore, when Sri Krishna appeared, Vishnu, the Lord of maintenance, merged with him because all the plenary portions and parts of the absolute personality of Godhead merge with him during his appearance.
ভগবান অবতারে যে কালে আর সব অবতার তাই আসি মিলে
When the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, all other incarnations of the Lord meet together within him.
নারায়ণ চতুর্ভুজ মৎস্যাদি অবতার যুগবান মন্ত্রবতার যাতে আছে আর শ্রী কৃষ্ণ আগে হয়ে অবতীর্ণ হয়েছে অবতারে কৃষ্ণ ভগবান পূর্ণ
Lord Narayan, the 4 primary expansions, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, Matsya, and the other Leela incarnations, the Yuga avatars, the Manvantara incarnations, and as many other incarnations as there are, all descend in the body of Lord Krishna. In this way, the complete Supreme Godhead, Lord Krishna himself, appears.
Example given this is a practical example. I remember in a village there was one Muslim jamindar, landlord, and he had a lot of Hindu employee. So one time he tells the Hindu employee, oh, there is a big Rath Yatra festival. We can sell more banana than you ever sold in whole year. So be excited and go. The Hindu guy was so excited, and he carried a big load of banana to sell. And then the weekend, so he's going to spend for whole week, Rath Yatra for 7 days and sell banana and then come back. So the Muslim owner, he saw that he's overexcited, more than he told him to be excited. So he said, why you are so excited? I just told you to be excited that you can sell more. So, because you will be happy. I will make more money selling in Rath Yatra. Now in this story you have to find out what is external, what is internal. When he went to Rath Yatra, what did he enjoy? Selling banana?
No.
Or seeing the Lord, pulling the cart, dancing, chanting? Which one?
The latter.
Yes. But did the Muslim owner knew?
No.
No. So when the Lord Krishna comes, delivering, killing the demon, taking care of the earth problem, this problem, establishing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all these are true. Those are not false. He went to sell banana, that's true. But that's not the excitement coming from him. Excitement is that I got free job, free offer, I'm getting paid for it. At the same time, I'm taking fully my internal mood of Ratha Jatra tasting. Jagannath, chariot, so happy dancing. But the Muslim guy had no clue. So when Mahaprabhu came, he's tasting the Srimati Radhika's prem. This is not for everybody to know. Bhagavad Gita cannot tell you that. In one of the purport Chaitanya Caritamrta, Prabhupada says, when Bhagavad Gita finish, the Sanatana Shiksha begins. Bhagavad Gita will tell you what is the external purpose Bhagavan come. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskitam dharma samsthapanarthe punara jasanbhavami purjuge juge. So, but what is the internal reason? Bhagavad Gita does not have. So those who are not interested in hearing Chaitanya Caritamrta, they will be deprived. They will know only Bhagavan comes to protect the devotee and destroy the demon. What about Bhagavan needs anything for him own? We never heard it.
He does mention Vraj, like kind of in Bhagavad Gita.
That is our view of looking at it. When you are lusty man, you can see lusty in every woman. When you are businessman, you will see business opportunity in everywhere. So like this is our view. Our Gauriya view, we see even in Karma Kanda there is bhakti. Prabhupada write, Karma, 3rd chapter, Purna Prabhu was telling me that he went to this Chennai, Madras, preaching. That there was a big Mayavadi school and they invited him. He said, your Swamiji, this man, he just put devotion in everything. 3rd chapter Bhagavad Gita is Karma Yoga. It's karma, it's period. He write, Prabhupada translate what? Action in Krishna consciousness. Where is the karma? He said he has destroyed all the karma idea, jnana idea. It's like putting bhakti everywhere. Prabhupada says, I did not understand actually what he was talking, but I know Prabhupada always loved bhakti. So he told Prabhupada that this is what happened. I went today to a big Mayavadi school in Madras and he called me. He said, the moment I saw this Hare Krishna movement, I took the book and I was reading and reading. I see that this man has destroyed karma, gyan, yoga, everything. He's putting only Hare Krishna and bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. Prabhupada was smiling. He said, that is good, he understood something good. So this is our view, you follow? Yes, Prabhu.
In the word for word, Brahmabhuta, a person in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, yes. This is Prabhupada, very genius. Prabhupada, very genius, very loving. He doesn't see anything else. So what do you expect? So, but this is for Prabhupada and Krishna conscious devotee. Karmi cannot see Bhagavad Gita and think of Radharani. Not possible. Not possible. They have to come to the devotee to hear Chaitanya Caritamrta. So sweet, they will cry, they will laugh, they will enjoy eternally. So sweet Chaitanya Caritamrta. Okay. So remember that Ratha Jatra, Kala Becha. This is a story. You go to Ratha Jatra to sell banana, but that's not the purpose you going. You're going to see the deity dancing, chanting. That is internal, but nobody knows. External, everybody knows. Okay. Purna Bhagava. Is it 10 now? Atayeva Vishnu Takhan Krishnera Sarire Vishnu Dhare Kare Krishna Asura Samhare.
At that time, therefore, Lord Vishnu is present in the body of Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna kills the demons through him.
Anusanga karmaye asura maran je lage avatar kahe se mol haran.
Thus the killing of the demons is but secondary work. I shall now speak of the main reason for the Lord's incarnation.
Haribol. Wait. This verse is also another one. You must know. No excuse. You must know this one also. You remember first two we said, and this is the third. Together. Premarasa nirjas korite asadan ragamarga bhakti loke korite pracharam rasika shekhar Krishna parama karun he dui hetu he charodgam.
The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus he is known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all.
So if somebody say what causes Lord to appear, here it is, directly saying, Premarasa nirjas korite asadan ragamarga bhakti loke korite pracharam. Very sweet. Okay, purport Prabhu.
During the period of Lord Krishna's appearance, the killing of asuras or non-believers such as Kamsa and Jarasandha was done by Vishnu, who was within the person of Sri Krishna. Such apparent killing by Lord Sri Krishna took place as a matter of course and was an incidental activity for him. But the real purpose of Lord Krishna's appearance was to stage a dramatic performance of his transcendental pastimes at Braj Bhumi, thus exhibiting the highest limit of transcendental mellows in the exchanges of reciprocal love between the living entity and the Supreme Lord. These reciprocal exchanges of mellows are called Rag Bhakti, or devotional service to the Lord in transcendental rapture. Lord Sri Krishna wants to make known to all the conditioned souls that he is more attracted by Rag Bhakti than Vidhi Bhakti, or devotional service under the scheduled regulations. It is said in the Vedas, Taittiriya Upanishad 2.7, Raso vai saha. The absolute truth is the reservoir for all kinds of reciprocal exchanges of loving sentiments. He is also causelessly merciful, and he wants to bestow upon us this privilege of Rag Bhakti. Thus he appeared by his own internal energy. He was not forced to appear by any extraneous force.
Aishwarya genete sava jagata misrita Aishwarya shitila preme nahi mora pritam.
Lord Krishna thought, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love, weakened by that sense of majesty, does not satisfy me.
Amare Ishwar mane apana kehina tara preme vasami nahe adinam.
If one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me.
আমাকে যে যে ভক্ত বাজে যেই ভাবে তারে শেষে ভাবে বজিয়ে মোর স্বভাবে.
In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That is my natural behavior. Purport. The Lord by his inherent nature reveals himself before his devotees according to their inherent devotional service. The Vrindavan pastimes demonstrated that although generally people worship God with reverence, the Lord is more pleased when a devotee thinks of him as his pet son, personal friend, or most dear fiancé, and renders service unto him with such natural affection. The Lord becomes a subordinate object of love in such transcendental relationships. Such pure love of Godhead is unadulterated by any tinge of superfluous non-devotional desires, and is not mixed with any sort of fruitive action or empiric philosophical speculation. It is pure and natural love of Godhead, spontaneously aroused in the absolute stage. This devotional service is executed in a favorable atmosphere, freed from material affection.
Je jatha mam prapaddante tamstataiva vajamyaham mam avartana vartante manusya partha sarvasaha.
In whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. Purport. In the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna affirms that formerly, some 120 million years before the battle of Kurukshetra, he explained the mystic philosophy of the Gita to the sun god. The message was received through the chain of disciplic succession, but in course of time, the chain being broken somehow or other, Lord Sri Krishna appeared again and taught Arjuna the truths of the Bhagavad Gita. At that time the Lord spoke this verse, Bhagavad Gita 4.11, to his friend Arjuna.
Mora putra mora sakha mora pranapati ei bhave jai more kore shuddha bhakti apanake baramane amare samahina sei bhave hoy ami tahara adina.
If one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great and considering me his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. Report. In the Caitanya Caritamrta, 3 kinds of devotional service are described, namely bhakti, ordinary devotional service, shuddha bhakti, pure devotional service, and vidha bhakti, mixed devotional service. When devotional service is executed with some material purpose involving fruitive activities, mental speculations, or mystic yoga, it is called mixed or adulterated devotional service. Besides bhakti yoga, the Bhagavad Gita also describes karma yoga, jnana yoga, and dhyana yoga. Yoga means linking with the Supreme Lord, which is possible only through devotion. Fruitive activities ending in devotional service, philosophical speculation ending in devotional service, and the practice of mysticism ending in devotional service are known respectively as karma yoga, jnana yoga, and dhyana yoga. But such devotional service is adulterated by the 3 kinds of material activities. For those grossly engaged in identifying the body as the self, pious activity or karma yoga is recommended. For those who identify the mind with the self, philosophical speculation or jnana yoga is recommended. But devotees standing on the spiritual platform have no need of such material conceptions of adulterated devotion. Adulterated devotional service does not directly aim for love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, service performed strictly in conformity with the revealed scriptures is better than such vidha bhakti, because it is free from all kinds of material contamination. It is executed in Krishna consciousness solely to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are spontaneously devoted to the Lord and have no aims for material gain are called attracted devotees. They are spontaneously attracted to the service of the Lord, and they follow in the footsteps of self-realized souls. Their pure devotion, shuddha bhakti, manifested from pure love of Godhead, surpasses the regulative principles of the authoritative scriptures. Sometimes loving ecstasy transcends regulative principles. Such ecstasy, however, is completely on the spiritual platform and cannot be imitated. The regulative principles help ordinary devotees rise to the stage of perfect love of Godhead. Pure love for Krishna is the perfection of pure devotion, and pure devotional service is identical with spontaneous devotional service. Flawless execution of regulative principles is exhibited in the Vaikuntha planets. By strictly executing these principles, one can be elevated to the Vaikuntha planets. But spontaneous pure loving service is found in Krishna Loka alone.
Mai bhakti bhutanam amritattaya kalpate dishta jadasinam sneha bhavati namadapana.
Devotional service rendered to me by the living beings revives their eternal life. O my dear damsels of Braj, your affection for me is your good fortune, for it is the only means by which you have obtained my favor. Purport. Pure devotional service is represented in the activities of the residents of Brajabhumi, Vrindavan. During a solar eclipse, the Lord came from Dwarka and met the inhabitants of Vrindavan at Samantapancha. The meeting was intensely painful for the damsels of Brajabhumi because Lord Krishna had apparently left them to reside at Dwarka. But the Lord obligingly acknowledged the pure devotional service of the damsels of Braj by speaking this verse.
Mata more putra bhave kore na bandhan ati na gene kore lalana palan.
Mother sometimes binds me as her son. She nourishes and protects me, thinking me utterly helpless.
Sakha suddha sakhe kore skande arohan tome kon baralok tumi amisam.
My friends climb on my shoulders in pure friendship, saying, "What kind of big man are you? You and I are equal."
Priya jodi man kari karaye bharchan vedastuti haite hare se moraman.
If my beloved consort reproaches me in a sulky mood, that steals my mind from the reverent hymns of the Vedas. Purport. According to the Upanishads, all living entities are dependent on the supreme living entity, the personality of Godhead. As it is said in the Katha Upanishad, Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitanam
Eko Bhuvanam Vidadati Kaman.
One eternal living entity supports all the other eternal living entities. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead maintains all the other living entities, they remain subordinate to the Lord even when joined with Him in the reciprocation of loving affairs. But in the course of exchanging transcendental love of the highest purity, sometimes the subordinate devotee tries to predominate over the predominator. One who lovingly engages with the Supreme Lord as if he were his mother or father sometimes supersedes the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, his fiancée or lover sometimes supersedes the position of the Lord. But such attempts are exhibitions of the highest love. Only out of pure love does the subordinate lover of the Supreme Personality of Godhead chide him. The Lord, enjoying this chiding, takes it very nicely. The exhibition of natural love makes such activities very enjoyable. In worship of the Supreme Lord with veneration, there is no manifestation of such natural love, because the devotee considers the Lord his superior. Regulative principles in devotional service are meant for those who have not invoked their natural love of Godhead. When natural love arises, all regulative methods are surpassed, and pure love is exhibited between the Lord and the devotee. Although on such a platform of love the devotee sometimes appears to predominate over the Lord or transgress regulative principles, such dealings are far more advanced than ordinary dealings through regulative principles with awe and veneration. A devotee who is actually free from all designations due to complete attachment and love for the Supreme exhibits spontaneous love for Godhead, which is always superior to the devotion of regulative principles. The informal language used between lover and beloved is indicative of pure affection. When devotees worship their beloved as the most venerable object, spontaneous loving sentiments are observed to be lacking. A neophyte devotee who follows the Vedic instructions that regulate those who lack pure love of Godhead may superficially seem more exalted than a devotee in spontaneous love of Godhead. But in fact, such spontaneous pure love is far superior to regulated devotional service. Such pure love of Godhead is always glorious in all respects, more so than reverential devotional service rendered by a less affectionate devotee.
Now, the next we are coming that what Mahaprabhu is going to do and how rare it is. Let's do it. Ei Shuddha Bhakta Laya Karim Avatar Kariba Vivida Vidha Avadut Vihara Vaikantadi Nahi Je Leela Prachara Sheshe Leela Kariba Jate Mora Chamatkara.
Taking these pure devotees with me, I shall descend and sport in various wonderful ways, unknown even in Vaikuntha. I shall broadcast such pastimes by which even I am amazed.
There's a little clue. Okay.
Lord Krishna, in the form of Lord Chaitanya, educates his devotees to develop progressively to the stage of pure devotional service. Thus he appears periodically as a devotee to take part in various wonderful activities depicted in his sublime philosophy and teachings. There are innumerable Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky, and in all of them the Lord accepts the service rendered by his eternal devotees in a reverential mood. Therefore Lord Sri Krishna presents his most confidential pastimes as he enjoys them in his transcendental realm. Such pastimes are so attractive that they attract even the Lord, and thus he relishes them in the form of Lord Jesus.
Mo Vishaye Gopi Gane Rupavati Bhave Joga Maya Koribe Apano Svabhave.
The influence of Yoga Maya will inspire the gopis with the sentiment that I am their paramour. Purport. Yoga Maya is the name of the internal potency that makes the Lord forget himself and become an object of love for his pure devotee in different transcendental mellows. This Yoga Maya potency creates a spiritual sentiment in the minds of the damsels of Braj, by which they think of Lord Krishna as their paramour. This sentiment is never to be compared to mundane, illicit sexual love. It has nothing to do with sexual psychology, although the pure love of such devotees seems to be sexual. One should know for certain that nothing can exist in this cosmic manifestation that has no real counterpart in the spiritual field. All material manifestations are emanations of the transcendence. The erotic principles of amorous love reflected in mixed material values are perverted reflections of the reality of spirit. But one cannot understand the reality unless one is sufficiently educated in the spiritual science.
Ami na jani taha na jane gopigan duha rupe gune duha nitya hare man. This is also very important.
Neither the gopis nor I shall notice this, for our minds will always be entranced by one another's beauty and qualities. Purport. In the spiritual sky, the Vaikuntha planets are predominated by Narayan. His devotees have the same features he does, and the exchange of devotion there is on the platform of reverence. But above all these Vaikuntha planets is Goloka or Krishna Loka, where the original personality of Godhead Krishna fully manifests his pleasure potency in free loving affairs. Since the devotees in the material world know almost nothing about these affairs, the Lord desires to show them these affairs to them. In Goloka Vrindavan, there is an exchange of love known as Parakiya Ros. It is sometimes like the attraction of a married woman for a man other than her husband. It is something like the attraction of a married woman for a man other than her husband. In the material world, this sort of relationship is most abominable because it is a perverted reflection of the Parakiya Ros in the spiritual world, where it is the highest kind of loving affair. Such feelings between the devotees and the Lord are presented by the influence of Yoga Maya. The Bhagavad Gita states that devotees of the highest grade are under the care of Daiva Maya or Yoga Maya. Those who are actually great souls, Mahatmas, are fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, always engaged in the service of the Lord. They are under the care of Daivi Prakriti or Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya creates a situation in which the devotee is prepared to transgress all regulative principles simply to love Krishna. A devotee naturally does not like to transgress the laws of reverence for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but by the influence of Yoga Maya, he is prepared to do anything to love the Supreme Lord better. Those under the spell of the material energy cannot at all appreciate the activities of Yoga Maya, for a conditioned soul can hardly understand the pure reciprocation between the Lord and his devotees. But by executing devotional service under the regulative principles, one can become very highly elevated and then begin to appreciate the dealings of pure love under the management of Yoga Maya. In this spiritual loving sentiment induced by the Yoga Maya potency, both Lord Sri Krishna and the damsels of Braj forget themselves in spiritual rapture. By the influence of such forgetfulness, the attractive beauty of the gopis plays a prominent part in the transcendental satisfaction of the Lord, who has nothing to do with mundane sex. Because spiritual love of Godhead is above everything mundane, the gopis superficially seem to transgress the codes of mundane morality. This perpetually puzzles mundane moralists. Therefore, Yogamaya acts to cover the Lord and his pastimes from the eyes of mundaners, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.25, where the Lord says that he reserves the right of not being exposed to everyone. The acts of Yogamaya make it possible for the Lord and the gopis in loving ecstasy to sometimes meet and sometimes separate. These transcendental loving affairs of the Lord are unimaginable to empiricists involved in the impersonal feature of the Absolute Truth. Therefore the Lord himself appears before the mundaners to bestow upon them the highest form of spiritual realization and also personally relish its essence. The Lord is so merciful that he himself descends to take the fallen souls back to the kingdom of Godhead, where the erotic principles of Godhead are eternally relished in their real form, distinct from the perverted sexual love so much adored and indulged in by the fallen souls in their diseased condition. The reason the Lord displays the Rasa Lila is essentially to induce all the fallen souls to give up their diseased morality and religiosity and to attract them to the kingdom of God to enjoy the reality. A person who actually understands what the Rasa Lila is will certainly hate to indulge in mundane sex life. For the realized soul, hearing the Lord's Rasa Lila through the proper channel will result in complete abstinence from material sexual pleasure.